Alrighty, y'all, so I'm back again this week. Showed up for another video. It's a miracle. We're not going sourcing today though. I figured I would switch it up, kind of show you guys some of the in the trench work that goes into reselling. Sourcing is a big part of it, and a lot of times you guys see me out, but there's so many other elements that goes into making reselling work. So I figured I would kind of switch it up and kind of show you guys what that looks like today. So let's kind of jump right into it. Alright, y'all, so like right off the bat, you got like this return right here. I know you don't really hear about returns a whole lot in YouTube reselling life, but I mean, once you start selling, returns are definitely going to be a part of it. And if you've been kind of following me like week to week, I kind of showcased this jersey right here, and I think like in a video or two back, somebody bought this, I believe, for like 70 bucks and some change. I picked it up from Ross for like, I believe like 20 bucks, and got a message from the guy saying that it didn't fit, so it wasn't going to work out for him. This one right here is like a 4X. I think I picked up like a 3X on the same day that I picked this one right here up. So he sent it back to me. He actually expedited it, and once he noticed that I actually received it, he reached out to me and said that he needed his money ASAP because things were kind of tight, and I definitely can respect that right there. And so I've already refunded him. Alrighty, so I don't know what you guys' process is, but once I get a return and I've refunded the buyer, I usually just go to Sell Similar just to kind of give it like some new traction, and I'll just kind of like to make sure that everything is kind of the way I left it in the original listing. Just kind of like a quick scroll, like the size is still correct. You just never know sometimes. And I initially had these listed for like 99 bucks. I think I'm gonna drop the price, just trying to get this one moved as quickly as possible. When returns come back, I usually don't like to hang on to them for longer than I have to, so hopefully lowering the price a little bit can get this one moved and on to the next home. So once you do that right there, just go to, list the item, and it's back in eBay space for the next person to potentially pick it up. Alrighty, with like all my jerseys and like nicer jackets, I use this U-Haul, like, I don't even know what they're called. My wife actually told me about this. But anyway, the boxes that kind of have like the hangers in here. I had like the traditional rolling hanger. It just didn't work out with my space. And if you follow like a lot of other resellers, I mean, I don't know anybody that has like unlimited space. Everybody's kind of working with what they have, and so that's what I've kind of did with my space here. Have like two of them right here, and that's just worked perfectly, and it's much better than having like the bulky hanger deal. And so I'm probably going to show you because it's going to be hard to like film it, but once a jersey or a nice jacket that I have hanging up in here comes back for a return, just put it back on the hanger and stick it in one of my U-Haul hanging boxes. Before we move on to the next task, I do have like one more customer service piece that I kind of wanted to point out to you guys. So this is like a pair of like Nike SB sneakers right here. Picked these up from the Goodwill bins probably like maybe like a month ago or so. Believe they only probably cost like $2 to $3, and can't remember what they sold for. I'll actually put like a screenshot up to show you guys. But anyway, I shipped these out, and I noticed that the item was being shipped back to me, so the buyer reached out to me and told me that he accidentally forgot to update his address. So lo and behold, got these back, and so now I actually have to like resend them to him. Got to go through like the brain damage of doing that. But when I first got into eBay, I used to get annoyed sometimes with customer service issues. Now I just come to expect them every single week, especially with we're doing like 15,000 plus in sales every single month, so you can't do that kind of volume and expect not to have customer service issues. And if you're just getting started out in eBay, whether you want to be or not, you are a customer service representative in some capacity. So just kind of be on the lookout for that right there, but definitely got to get these repackaged and sent back out to the buyer. Alrighty, y'all, so moving on to the cleaning portion of my day. So I have some garments that I need to spot clean and then put in the washing machine. Also have some shoes that I need to clean. So what I'll be using is a rag, some hot water, laundry detergent, and a magic eraser. I'll also be using like my butter knife to remove any debris from the bottom of the shoes. I'll also be using my sponge basically to clean the insoles. And I use my gloves to clean all of these items. When I first got started, I didn't use gloves, but I ended up with like a wart on my left hand that literally took me like a year to remove. But to each its own. I use gloves though. Alrighty, y'all, so I'm done washing all the shoes, and when I'm done, I just put them in the washing machine along with some of those clothes that I was trying to get some of the stains out of. My hit rate is normally pretty good on the clothing, and even if some of those stains don't come out of some of those garments, I'll just sell them as is and put them in here. Once they're done, I'll actually relace them up. And if you're new to eBay and never really put shoes in the washer, I would just recommend be careful putting shoes in here that are kind of older, maybe like early 2000s, because I have ruined shoes over the years. So just FYI on that right there. I know a lot of times people put shoes in bags and stuff, but I don't do all that. This is how I do it, and it's worked wonders, and I haven't had really any problems doing it this way. And FYI, if you guys hear like noise in the background or people talking, it's our kids and stuff. My wife's in the kitchen doing stuff. The kids are watching their show, and this is in the middle of the day, so just FYI.
Straight cash, homie.
Alrighty, y'all, so first up in this store, so 2 items for $42.92. And first up is just this Nike Rally Boyfriend, like a full zip hoodie. This one sold for $22.90. It does have like some fading, and I think it had like a small stain on like the sleeve or whatever. Held on to it for a little bit, but somebody finally wanted it, and I'm glad to send it on to the next home. And only spent like probably no more than like $2 at the Goodwill bins. And then you just got like this vintage like full zip Nike hoodie right here for women, and like the gray colorway. I believe this one right here is like a women's size medium. Picked this one up from the bins. It's like a lightweight one, so probably only spent somewhere around like $1 on it, and it sold for $20.02 all in. Alrighty, and this next store sold 8 items for $138.24. So first up, you just got like this vintage Nike track jacket, full zip. Picked this one up from the Goodwill bins, probably no more than like $2, and it sold for $25.30 all in. And here are a pair of Brooks. I believe these are like dry line running tights for women. Purple colorway, Goodwill outlet pickup. Probably only cost like no more than like $1, and it ended up selling for $17.05. And next up are a lot of these Under Armour and Air Jordan like track pants. These are like sweatpants, the other ones are like track pants. But anyway, pick both of these up from the Goodwill bins. Probably only cost like $2 combined. I sell lots all the time. I feel like it's just missing money that a lot of people just kind of pass right over, but try to find like 2 or 3 of the same kind in the same size. These right here ended up selling for $18.75, and again, like I said, probably only cost somewhere around like $2 from the Goodwill bins. And here are a pair of Adidas Energy running shorts for women. Picked these up from the Goodwill bins, probably cost like 50 cents. They ended up selling for $12.84. Got another pair of running shorts. These right here are from Nike. Goodwill bins pickup, probably like 50 cents. And these right here ended up selling for $15.35. And next up is a Nike like dry fit tank top for women. Blue colorway, Goodwill outlet pickup. This one is like super light, probably maybe not even 50 cents, maybe like a quarter. But ended up selling for $16.53. And next up are like these Nike dry fit like yoga pants for women. Pick these up from the Goodwill bins, probably cost like no more than like $1.50. These end up selling for $17.82. And lastly, got another pair of running shorts. These are from Nike. Theme here, Goodwill bins pick up, probably like 50 cents. And these right here ended up selling for $14.60. Alrighty, y'all, so this is our main store here, the third and final store. Sold 11 items today for $347.68. So here is an Adidas bodysuit. Had this one for like quite some time. It was actually on like a 50% off sale because I'm just trying to move old inventory. Picked this one up from the Goodwill bins, probably like no more than like $1, and it ended up selling for $20.17. And here are a pair of Nike Air Max 200s for, I believe these are for girls. Picked these up from the Goodwill bins, probably like between like $1 or $1.50 maybe, and they ended up selling for $23.65. And here are a pair of like Nike SB slip-on shoes for boys. Another Goodwill outlet pickup, probably cost like no more than like $1.50 like the other pair of kids shoes, and they ended up selling for $22.95. And here are a pair of Under Armour slides. Picked these up from the Goodwill bins. I don't even think I needed to really do a whole lot to these. Maybe just wipe them down. I thought they were actually brand new. But picked them up from the bins, probably no more than like $1.50, $2 tops. And they ended up selling for $24.88. And next up is this Lululemon metal vent tech tank for men. Picked this up from the Goodwill bins, probably like 50 cents. And it ended up selling for within like a week or two for $22.46. And here are a pair of like Nike Pro shorts. For some weird reason, held on to these for like forever. They were actually on the 50% off sale as well. Picked these up from the Goodwill bins, no more than like 50 cents. They ended up selling for $14.33. And here's like a Prana sleeveless vest right here. If you've been kind of following me since like the very beginning, you know that there was like a couple of times at the Goodwill bins where we just got bombarded with like Prana stuff. I believe this was in one of those hauls. Got like this women's sleeveless dress, large, probably only cost like no more than like $2. It ended up selling for $23.49. And here is a Nike Oregon Ducks like pullover hoodie or sweatshirt right here. I believe this one right here is like a men's size 2XL. Probably costs like no more than like $3 from the Goodwill bins. It is kind of heavier than usual. End up selling for $31.16. And here are a pair of like Adidas Essential track pants for women. This was another item that was on a 50% off sale. I think I've had these for like, seems like forever. Picked them up from the Goodwill bins, probably like no more than like $1.50. They ended up selling for $13.94. And here is a Nike Tech Fleece full zip jacket right here for women. I love the Nike Tech Fleece stuff. Seems like it sells like really good. This one right here, picked it up from the Goodwill bins, probably like between $2 and $3, and ended up selling for $33.37. And here are a pair of like vintage sample Nike Oregon Duck Vapor Jet football cleats. Picked these up from the Goodwill outlet for probably no more than like $3. And they sold the exact same day for 100 plus shipping. So I believe these are headed to New Jersey. The only thing that was going on with these right here is when I picked them up, I noticed they had like an attic smell to them. I don't know if you guys have sold like a lot of older Nike shoes from like maybe early 2000s. They always have like a weird smell to them. And so lo and behold, just in my experience of just reselling over the years, I kind of have like a lot of tricks to try to get smells out. But the best possible one that I've come up with over the years is you can just take like dryer sheets and just let them sit inside of the shoes like overnight, and no joke, when you wake up the next morning, remove them, let them air out for like a couple of hours just so you can see what the true scent is once you can kind of like let them air out. And lo and behold, more often than not, man, these are like good as new now, and that happens in a lot of the situations. So this right here could be another hack for you guys if you're looking to like learn how to like get scents out of shoes. And I don't do this for like every single shoe. If these were like a shoe that I had like comped and they were only selling for like $20-$30, I probably would have just left them. But I knew right away Nike Oregon Duck stuff, especially like the sample stuff, sells really good. So this ended up working out quite well. And also, if you're kind of curious what I'm using to ship all of my items, but I just use like just the standard Rollo thermal printer, and it's, I mean, if you have one, you already know that it works wonders. Alrighty, y'all, so on to the photo portion of the day, and I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pair of shoes that I need to take pictures of. All of the shoes I picked up from the Goodwill bins. The Adidas soccer cleats right here, you guys seen me cleaning these earlier today. I didn't put them in the washing machine because they didn't really need to be. I just kind of wiped them down a little bit. All the rest of the shoes you guys will see in a future Goodwill bins pickup video. I'm not sure if that'll be before this one or after this one, but I cleaned these and laced them up yesterday, so now they're just ready to be photoed and listed. And then you got like, I think it's like 20 pieces of clothes right here, so I'm listing like 28 items. I try to be somewhere between like 30 and 50 in a given day, but it really just depends. So I mean, just some of the highlights, got like some Adidas track pants that need to be lighted up, got some Under Armour, and all these items came from the Goodwill bin, so all of them are like super cheap. Some Eddie Bauer like chino pants for women. I think we even got like some Lululemon in here, like a women's, I think these are like Band Studio pants, like a women's size 4, and just Nike, some Nike golf like fit dry like golf pants right here. So these are the items that are going to be photoed, and again, like with 28 items today, should only take me no more than like 30 minutes to knock this out tops. I also forgot that I had like some Converse Shorelines that were like behind like a photo over here, so it's actually 8 pair of shoes today that I need to take pictures of. And again, pick these up from the Goodwill bins as well. Probably only cost like no more than like $2. And as far as what I use to actually take the pictures on, I just use like this white backdrop right here. Been using this for like the last year or so. It works out pretty good. I mean, I'm sure there's better options out there, but been able to make good sales with this method right here, and also with like Some of the measurements use like this big yardstick right here. We picked this one right here up from like Hobby Lobby. It's like 36 inches. And usually can hit like all of the inseams. Every now and again I have to pull out like my actual measuring tape for like longer pants or like sometimes dresses or what have you. But I mean, this system right here has worked wonders, and I mean, for the most part, I mean, I'll probably keep it up for a while. As far as like how I take pictures of my shoes, I just take them right here upstairs in my office. Just right here on the floor. I use like my 2 lights right here. And that works out really good in the winter months when you don't really have like a lot of natural light here in Oregon. Once the summer comes, I'll go back to taking them on our front porch. It's just a better setup. And it usually just works a little bit better. But for now in the winter months, this right here has worked pretty good. Alright, y'all, so here are all the shoes that I cleaned and put in the washing machine today. And for the most part, most of them came pretty clean. Got like these Nike golf cleats right here. These were like extremely dirty. Thought about even leaving these behind when I was at the bins, but I needed some weight, so I grabbed them anyway. And now, man, you should easily be able to get like 40 bucks for them. Got like these Van platforms right here. Nike Lunar Glide 7 for men. Got like the bread and butter Nike Free Flightness right here in like the multicolor colorway. 2 pair of Adidas slides in the back. And then to round it out, you got like these Nike running shoes for men in the blue and white colorway.
Look at how far we done made it. I put it all on the table. Try my product, the cable cars and the soldiers that raised me. A tribe of women from heaven that brought me miracles daily. Now they the ones that he's saving. Moms ain't the same since my grandma faded, then turned to an angel. When she could see me right now, wanted to know that we major. See from all of the angles. Can't ever turn off my brain from everything we done saying. But I'm just shocked that I'm stable. If there's a God, she's amazing. Wave. I spill my soul on the table. I give it all while I'm able. I can't break bread with no stranger. I hold it down for my brothers. Been tight since naps in the cradle. Since pickup rounds in the park, we found peace and sound to that chain link neck catch.
Alrighty, y'all, so you just see me drop off all those packages that you guys seen me ship earlier today. And what I usually do with the remainder of the time that I have left is list the items. I don't use like my desktop or anything like that. I usually just use my phone because I'm napping with my kids in the afternoon. And afterwards, there's normally time left over, so I normally take a nap at the end as well. Definitely need it today after doing all the recording and working at the same time. And today is Friday, so it's the end of the week for me. And I haven't expressed my faith a whole lot on this channel over the last couple of years, but Holly and I are believers in Christ, so we observe the Sabbath usually on Saturday, so I try not to do any work on that particular day, which is sometimes hard, especially with little kids. But in order to like make that happen, most times you have to make sure you're very diligent on Friday. So gotta get my day tied up once we get up from nap time and before dinner or what have you. But I appreciate you guys for coming along with me. If you got anything out of the video, like it, consider subscribing to the channel. It would really help me try to grow the channel this year. I'll catch you guys right back here on the next video.
This might be all that I know. Think it's okay. I've got a long way to grow. At my own pace. Go the long way. No one taught me how to walk, but I figured it out fine.